Don't tell.
Welcome to the Moving Picture Studio in Toronto. Josh Hartnett, Guy Moshe. Firstly, congratulations on the film's, thunderous reception. What was it like, Guy, for you to have something that was so clearly constructed, a whole world constructed, your own personal play set, have it play out to an audience?
It was fun. I mean, it's kind of a liberating feeling, actually. It's like giving birth or something, you know? It ceases to be yours. You just look around. You get nervous for the first 15 minutes, like you think the sound is not playing right or something is wrong, whatever. And then you just let go, you know? When the laughter starts coming, it's really nice. It's like, it liberates you gradually. And by the end, I was out of it. I was like, this is their movie now. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. There's nothing I can do.
Josh, for you, straight after the film, you said it's, a lot to process, given that it was the first time you'd seen it. Have you had some more time to kind of think about it and kind of put it, because I mean, most of the time you were probably working with a green screen and not really fully appreciative of the vision.
Well, the thing about the thing, well, thank you for putting my appreciation levels at such a low level.
Imagination.
My imagination is, I don't have one. What I see is what I get. Guy, we talked a lot about the visuals beforehand, and what you might not see on screen, but I think is kind of evident if you really know about it, is that a lot of the sets were physical, and it's just the kind of the sky or sometimes the extension of the city that wasn't there. So it wasn't like working on Sin City where there was nothing, and Robert put everything in afterward. This was like there were physical sets that we got to interact with, which is great. Also, I mean, just the amount of, the way the guy actually sold me on the movie was just essentially talking about his film references and what he wanted, how he wanted this to look,
which
feel.
he knows.
Yeah, but I mean, like it was a conversation about how this film was going to turn out. So I had that conversation extended all the way through production. So I had a really good sense of how the movie was what it was going to be like, except I didn't know what the pacing was going to be like. I didn't know that there were a few added special effects, sound effects especially, that I think really amped it up and gave it this kind of, I don't know, this buoyancy. It had pace, it had structure, it was funny, and I guess I don't know, I just kind of got drawn in by the audience's reaction, and for me to go up right afterward and have to talk about it, I just didn't know what to say yesterday.
Is it also, working with a filmmaker who's more towards the beginning of their career, does it become more of a collaborative process?
I don't know, man. It might be at the end of my career.
Compared to some of the established directors that you...
It's different because there's a chance that when a director's been around for a long time and has gone through this process many times, that they have figured out at least what the press and what the people surrounding them think they're good at, and they don't really try to do anything outside of that wheelhouse. And Guy came in fresh, thinking he could conquer the entire world and having a plan for it. And that's exciting when you see somebody with that much ambition and that much talent. You just you want to reciprocate. You want to give as much of your passion and talent for the project as well. And plus, he gave me a chance to play a role that was very physical and different than anything I'd done before. So,
did you learn a bunch of new skills on this film? Do you feel?
I mean, I could probably kick your ass. No, I'm kidding. No, it's all fake. No, we, I mean,
pretty good shape.
I've gotten pretty good shape.
4 months of training in that one.
Well, yesterday when we got here, all the stunt guys were here. A lot of the stunt guys came up for the premiere, and they're all looking at me and they're like, soft, man, and I'm like, hey, man, I don't do this for a living.
We met in New York before the film began, and then we sent somebody to New York to train with Josh and stuff. And then by the time we met again in Romania, he came, he was all buff. I was like, man, that's cool. They've been doing their job, I see.
Yeah, I was kind of badass for a while.
And it's very difficult also to remember, to people don't realize it, but there's so many action sequences in this film, but there's, an equal amount of, just regular acting, I'm presuming.
Just regular.
And then you kind of have to memorize all these moves and stuff. You got to be It's part of what
It's
on
a
the film
dance,
it is.
you know. It's like it's choreography.
So that's a lot of work just in and of itself, just to remember where to be, what to do with your body, and all that kind of stuff. That extra hours going to that as you're shooting a 6-day week. It was a tough shoot.
And running 2 separate sets simultaneously.
Yeah.
Did you have someone who was kind of a right-hand person whispering in your ear, or
I had,
was everything?
I had, I wanted to give him I had somebody who started out as my assistant. His name is Devere, and he ended up doing something I don't even know how to call it. I was like, she should give him like a title extraordinaire or something. I'm like, this guy was just like constantly pushing and pulling me, just making sure I'm paying attention to everything that needs to happen. It was a true backbone, and
And it was so physical for you as well. I mean, it was 18-hour days, more than 18-hour days sometimes, 6 days a week, 2 sets at the same time, going and setting up a shot, coming back, shooting one, then going back over to shoot the one that you set up before, coming back and setting this one up, and then, just constantly moving between them, sometimes even 3 sets. I mean, there was so much.
Yeah, there were 3 sets actually.
3 sets at some point. And
it's the only way to make this movie on the budget that I can disclose, but it's a pretty ambitious film, and the way we had to do it is we had to do it in a limited amount of time, and we took over an entire studio in Romania that had all these stage. Part of the problem is we ran out of spaces, so when you build a set, you also have to strike it down as opposed to just using green screen. You don't have that problem. And you have to juggle your schedule according to the sets that you need to strike down and rebuild. So if you don't get a shot in time, it's over. Like you strike down the set, and you can never get that additional shot by the time you edited the scene, and you know if you're missing something.
For you, was there any consistent thing between doing Holly and shooting this film? Was there anything similar?
I thought about it the other day. It's like the films couldn't be more different, but at the same time, I realized, wait, in Holly I have a card scene.
you have a Ron in both of them too.
I have a Ron in both of them.
Very tenuous.
No, I mean, listen, Holly was a completely different story where somebody presents you with the possibility to make a film about a social cause, and you just, that was the factor that meant everything to me at the time, and that's all I did was trying to serve the cause. I didn't care about. With my first movie, I truly didn't care about what anybody would think. I said, I went there, I saw what I saw, and I said, that's the only way that I want to tell this story. Whatever happens, happens. This is a different thing. This is a film that is meant for the audience. It's a commercial film. It needs to be fun. That was part of my thought process was to embrace the audience, not to try and teach them about the horrors of the universe or something. So it's a very different thing.
There are some pretty interesting directors like Danny Boyle who'll jump from a horror to a family film to a Bollywood type musical. Have you already got your next project in your head?
Yeah, I have it written already.
And is it another genre jump?
It's different than both. Again, I mean, it probably has something from both in it. It's set up in Casablanca and in Morocco. It's going to be shot on location. It's probably going to be a little stylized. It's have a love story in it. Not a lot of fighting, but some gunfights and stuff.
Josh, you mentioned last night that there was a lot of footage, a lot of things that you did that didn't make it to the final product. Was there anything specific that you were looking forward to seeing that you didn't?
My character was so attached to his hat, and I lose my hat when I jump off of when I jump from the building to the. I know. From the building to the.
When you remind me of that, I get like a.
No. From the building to the jail, before that big jail fight, and then when I come out, there was a moment where everybody's got to wait and fight us to stop so I can go get my hat. But whatever, it was like I'll cry about it later.
I love that moment, but it's like at some point you gotta. It's funny with the rhythm. It's like you discover in a film like this. There's a lot of stuff that worked amazingly well. I mean, the whole thing with the breaking the logs, which I'll probably put on a DVD, especially. It was like one of my favorite moments in the movie, and I cut it out because I realized it was just pacing-wise, it was just not right. It was just stopping the film. And it was a great scene between him and the actor. So.
It's difficult to see things go when you had a lot of fun making the film, and that's a luxurious problem to have. A lot of times you come to these things and you're like, oh God, I didn't really like making it, and I don't really like the film. I mean, that can happen. It's all gravy because I like what the film turned out to be, and I really liked the process of making it.
Did you keep a souvenir from the set?
I wasn't allowed to keep the costume.
You don't have the hat?
I don't have
the
the hat.
You have the hat.
No, they have the hat.
Okay.
They wouldn't allow me to keep any of the costume. And So no, I mean,
Yeah,
the
there was a
souvenir
talk
that I
maybe,
kept.
maybe we'll revive this character in this world, in the future if we're so lucky. So maybe that's why they kept the hat and everything.
Yeah.
The only plus is like it doesn't do well, then you can get the hat.
Yeah. The Drifter does Hollywood. Kind of make it even more meta. Just set it in Hollywood. Yeah, set it in Bollywood. There we go.
Hollywood will do.
Yeah.
We'll do it as a full-on
stranger. Just an out-of-work actor who acts like the Drifter comes to town.
There seemed to be such a camaraderie between everybody on stage
Yeah.
last night. Woody, yourself,
Yeah.
even Gact, as well.
Well, we all got along incredibly well.
Is it cool now seeing each other? Like, I don't know if you've seen each other since the movie, but seeing each other now in this kind of fresh setting where none of you have that sort of same responsibility of work,
Well, we didn't look at the work like a responsibility. I think that kind of pissed off our director occasionally. No.
Come on, I
No. We had. What was great about this film is one of the greatest attributes I think of the film is that we shot it in Eastern Europe and Romania. The fact that we all were so far away from our lives that we kind of had to look at it like summer camp, and we bonded, and everybody still gets along very well. We're all excited to see each other. Actually, after filming, after I think Kevin was wrapped, he stuck around for a while longer. Woody came back early.
Just for the rap party?
Yeah, for the rap party. Like it was, or late for the rap party. It was crazy. You never have that happen on a set. Everybody goes back to their lives, and that's done. We move on to the next thing. This one, it just kind of became.
It was just like a
for
tough
lack of a
film,
cheat.
and everybody was kind of coming together to like really stuck together, and then.
Not to be cheesy, but it kind of became like a good little family,
Yeah. That's cool.
Well, thanks for joining us today, and congratulations on the film.
Thank you
Thanks
so much,
a lot.
man.